Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. I've been reading a book, and it was published in 1940, and the title is just Fly Tying, and the author is William Bayard Sturgis. And he must have been older, maybe 50s or 60 when he wrote this book, because the dedication is quite interesting. This book is affectionately dedicated to the memory of my father, Thomas Sturgis, veteran of the Civil War, pioneer of the West, and lover of the great outdoors. And the one fly in particular, never heard it before until I read this book, and it is called a California Coachman. So I have this is a large hook, this is a size 10, and this is a wet fly. And I suppose you can tie these as dry flies also. But I'm going to use black thread, and we're going to get that base of thread down, start it behind the hook, or behind the eye, and bring that back. Very interesting reading these old books and seeing what they did. Okay, so we're going to bring this back, not quite to where it would hang at the barb if I didn't crush the barb. We're going to start with the tail, and for the tail he wants golden pheasant tippet, a wisp. So I have a golden pheasant tippet, and I'm just going to take a wisp. To me, a wisp would be 5 or 6 barbels. Just take those, I'm going to hold them tight and remove them from the stem. Measure it up. I'm going to make that tail about half the length of the hook shank. I'm going to tie it in just behind the second black bar on the golden pheasant tippet. It's not quite the length of the body of the fly. Okay, we're going to remove that excess. And now for the body, Peacock Herl with wide band of yellow silk floss at center. So I'm going to take my Peacock Herl, and I'm going to take 2 Peacock Herl. There's strength in numbers, especially when you're using Peacock Herl. I'm going to tie these in from the butt sections. And I'm going to leave the tag end about 2/3 the body of the hook shank. And this is going to be where the second band of Peacock Herl is going to stop. Right around there. I'm going to bring my thread back. And we're going to go ahead and wrap Peacock Herl. This is only going to maybe take 3 turns. Give that once. Maybe 4 turns. 3. Give it one more. There we go. Bring that up and secure it. Now I'm going to tie the Peacock Herl down along the shank. Just a small distance. Now I'm going to take yellow floss, and you only need about 8 inches of this. If If you actually use too much, take too much of the floss when you're wrapping, you rip it apart. Like your fingers will take the silk and make it fray really bad. Gonna put just a little bit of moisture on the end there just to help me so it doesn't come apart, or I don't have two to tie in. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap the floss towards the rear. And it's kind of looking dark now, but when we come back up with it, it will become yellow. And we're going to come back now. 3, and we're going to bring that up top and tie that off. Try not to let your floss get tangled in with your peacock. Put a couple turns in front and go ahead and trim that. I'm going to stand my peacock up and I'm going to tie that back just a little bit and then advance my thread. Now we're going to give this 3 or 4 turns. Oh, let me back that off because it split on me. Here we go. And we're going to stop that there and tie that off. Couple turns in front and we can trim away that excess. Now for the hackle, he wants yellow hackle. So I have a yellow hackle here. This is actually from a saltwater cape, but the cape took all the way down to the eyes like a regular cape. So we're going to tie this in, and I want to get to where the stem starts to get thin. You don't usually want a really big stem because that'll push them apart when you wrap one wrap in front of the previous. Gonna give it the little crew cut. And I missed a couple. There we go. We're gonna tie this on. A couple long ones there. Yeah, that one I'm gonna just yank off. Go ahead and tie this in. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to leave my thread just a couple of wraps from the butt or the tie-in point of that hackle. You put some hackle pliers on there because it's small. We're going to lift it up and we're going to bring all of the hackle to the one side. And you can hold it towards the rear as you wrap it. There's 2. We get 3 hackles out of that and we'll be happy. There we go. 3 turns of hackle there. And we're going to tie that down. And that broke for me nicely. Now I'm going to just hold all of the hackle back. I'm going to come back just one wrap on it. There we go. Kind of push them towards the rear there just a little bit. You can take them from the top and push them to the sides. Kind of almost clear off that top there a little bit. Give it one more wrap. There we go. You don't want to go back too far because you will make that front peacock herl disappear. Now for the wing, he wants white goose, and I'm going to take a right and a left feather, and I'm going to line them up, and they both have an outward curve, so I'm going to line them up according to the curved tips. Now when we get those tips lined up, I'm going to hold on to them, because we're going to be able to just take them from there and go right to the going to take them from there, and we got them lined up. Okay, we can size them. These are actually a little bit fat. I'm going to hold them. I'm going to take my bodkin needle, and I'm going to take a couple of fibers off there. There we go, that's much better. And we want the tip of the wing to be just barely into the tail. I'm going to hold them. I'm holding them tight. I'm going to make a loose loop, put it between your finger, and then pull it straight down. And you can see that front go up. You know they're right on top then. Now I'm going to trim off the excess on this. And we can tie the head. Cover up all the white. Yep, I can see in the camera I got that side. I didn't get all of the white. Really helps me looking into the camera because my eyes are getting old. I go ahead and give it a whip finish. I see one stray going off to the front, and we know how to take care of that. We'll go ahead and trim this. Going to hold everything. Take my lighter, whoop, and away that goes. We got a nice wing there. If I did it the opposite way, they would be separated, which isn't a bad thing either. Put a little bit of head cement on there. And this, I believe, looks like a bee. So it'll look like a drowned bee. Summertime, they should eat that right up. So hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please leave comments, questions, suggestions. Please visit my sponsors. If you'd like to purchase any flies, this fly or any other fly that I tie, visit my Etsy page at etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.